Hi guys, we're Gravitix and we'll be presenting for you today the game Symbiosis. Symbiosis is a game for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and above, and lasts for 45 minutes. It is a 3D tile placement game with area control and mutual engine building. The game, in the game, players will play as mushrooms that will grow their symbiotic relationship with trees. Thus, the trees will give back sugar cubes for the mushroom to grow. Thus, a symbiotic relationship. We will start the game with the green player and by turn order go around clockwise. The green player will start by selecting one of the cards from the tree display. He will select the yellow card and can play any of the cards that he wants. Next, he will need to grow a symbiotic relationship with one of his trees in order to place them on the forest. So what he will do is grow a symbiotic relationship with the yellow tree. This will be done each turn. Next, he will place his yellow card somewhere on the forest. Now, the best place to place this card is over here, where we have 4 sugar cubes, and 1 sugar cube he will receive from an adjacent red tree, because yellow trees like to be next to red trees. Okay, by placing it here, we'll place, this is a 4 cube, and 5, now we have 5 sugar cubes. Next, the player will now, after growing this tree, the player will now place his colony. So, the green player has placed one of his colonies here, and will gain one more colony to place on an adjacent tree or on the same tree. Since there's no adjacent tree, he will place it on the same tree. Next, the last thing, he will need to resolve the ability from the card. This ability allows the green player to select one of the cards from the tree display. So this player will select another yellow card, adding it to his hand. This will, after finishing his ability, he will pass the turn to the next player. The blue player will now again select one of the cards from the tree display. So let's say he will take also a yellow card, but will select to grow a tree, let's say the green Symbiosis. Now the green, the green, the blue player may now place green, one of his cards. This is the green card, anywhere on the forest. So the best place to go is over here, receiving 2 sugar cubes and also 2 yellow adjacent trees, and this will gain him 4 sugar cubes. Yeah. Next, he will place one colony on the green tree that is just placed, and another colony either on this tree or an adjacent tree. So he will select to place it on the adjacent tree just placed. Last thing he will need to do is raise his ability on the green tree, because this ability allows him to grow the second level. This level will allow him to place the next level of the green tree. And this has finished his turn. The turn goes back to the green player. Now the green player has already 3 cards in his hand, so he will need to play one of his cards from his hand and not take from the tree display. So he will select he will first raise his ability on the yellow track, and this allows him to grow the next level of tree of the yellow tree above the yellow tree. So you can only place yellow trees above yellow trees. So he will select to place it here. Now this is where the game really shines. The idea is that when you cover a tree, first thing you do is score the majority on the bottom on the bottom card. So the majority here goes to the green. The green will receive 5 points. Touché. And since the blue player has also a colony here as second place, he will receive half the points rounded down. Next, he will place the card, and all the sugar cubes from below will now go up to the next level. So we had 5 sugars from below, but also we are close to a red tree, so we will gain 1 more sugar cube. So this place now is worth 5 points. Next, 6 points. So next, the player will place one of his colonies and will now have the ability to place another colony either on the same tree or to an adjacent one. So now we have a tie on this on the green tree just grown. So let's see a little options of what kind of areas we can score. So let's say we've just seen a cover tree. So let's say the next player, the blue player, will now decide to cover over a tree which he has no colony on. So what will happen? He will place the tree, and since he has covered the tree, of course he will need to grow his symbiotic relationship to level 3. Okay, but let's say he has done it. So he will place the tree to cover, the card to cover the tree, and the player which has majority here will receive 6 points, going to 11. But he will also go up the tree. Thus, both players will now go have a colony on the tree. Next, the points from below again will climb up, and we can see here that we had 6 points from below, and now we have 7 points. Okay, and the game will progress on, solving the abilities and etc. The next thing that we can see is if the blue player had here the same number of colonies. Now this tie, when covering, so this depends on which player is covering the trees. So let's say the blue player decided to cover. Of course, he has to grow the tree ability for doing that. And if the blue player covers, then the blue player will gain now 2 colonies, and the green player will have 1 colony. Again, sugar cubes will come up, and another from adjacent. We now have 7 sugar cubes. So this is a result of the tie. In a tie, the points gained is both players will receive 5 points. And this resolves the tie. The game will progress on until this tree display is finished. When this tree display is finished, again we open again five more cards. When this deck is finished, then we will finish until all of the cards are finished, and the game will enter the final scoring phase. In the final scoring phase, we will look at each one of the majorities and again calculate the points for each majorities of the top trees. Thus here, the blue will gain the 7 points, and the green will receive only 3. So, winner is the player with the most points, and that's it. Have fun playing!